Hi, I'm Parthiv Patel and I'm back with Cricbuzz. We were hoping for India's comeback into this T20I series, but unfortunately did not happen. West Indies have beaten India by 2 wickets today, and this has happened for only for the first time since 2016 that West Indies have beaten India in T20I in two consecutive matches. For India, there was a silver lining, and that silver lining was Tilak Varma, who batted brilliantly for his 50. But there is lot to talk about. Let's get into it. So India and West Indies moved to Guyana today. India won the toss and decided to bat first. A bit of a strange decision, mainly because we've been talking about how games are starting early at 10:30. We were talking about one day starting at 9:30, but 10:30 is still an early start for a T20 game. So I was a bit surprised that India decided to bat first. And it showed the way India batted. Ball was gripping a bit, stopping a bit. No one, Ishan got a start. He, got out. Shubman Gill got out on the third over. We've been talking about throughout the series that Indian batters, whoever gets in, needs to get a big one, maybe a 70, 80 score. That sometimes you are not talking about hundreds, but that 70 and 80 can be a good enough score. But none of the Indian batters could do that. The way Ishan Kishan got out, the way Sanju Samson got out, I think he's getting a lot of opportunities. To be honest, he's not making most of the opportunities which he's getting. Surya's dismissal was a bit of a deja vu of what happened to Sanju Samson in last game. He got run out. There was only one batter who looked comfortable. There was, the way he was batting, talking about Tilak Varma, the way he rotated the strike, the way he used his reverse sweep against spinners, the way he threw sixes over cover and over long on as well. He showed the range which he has. But other than that, I don't think there's much to talk about the Indian batting. On the other end, if you look at West Indies bowling, I thought they were very disciplined. They did not try to do anything extra. They were just hitting the length. They just kept hitting the length. And probably they backed themselves. And I thought fielding was excellent. You needed someone to, produce a piece of magic. We rather say it. And every fielding coach always, tells you we need someone or to step up and try and produce a piece of magic. And that was done by how Surya got run out. When someone like Surya gets run out with this kind of fielding, that makes a big difference. So I thought West Indies was very disciplined. We usually do not talk about West Indies being disciplined as a fielding unit or a bowling unit, but today I thought they were right on dot in terms of the way they used their resources and the kind of bowls they were bowling. Usually, we talk about the man of the match of the day, and then that was Nicholas Pooran. But to me, I think performer of the day was Akeal Hussain. He got a crucial wicket of Tilak Varma when he was set at 51. He got Sanju Samson out, got stumped. When a left arm spinner gets a player like Sanju Samson out, that you have to produce a good delivery, which he did. And after that, when it looked like that, West Indies would win it, and then Nicholas Pooran got out, but they were under pressure. Only 2 wickets to go, about 25 runs to get. Game gets under pressure, and Akeal Hussain comes out and scores only 16. But the value of that 16 runs were way, way, way too much. And if he had got out at that point of time, West Indies would have been done and dusted. So to me, I think performer of the day is Akeal Hussain. See, T20 format usually is something which changes around in that one moment of the game here and there, one decision here and there. And I thought that decision of Hardik Pandya not giving that over to Yuzvendra Chahal, I'm talking about that 18th over. He bowled brilliantly on that 16th over. He did not finish his quota of four overs. So to me, I think that's something which changed the game in the favor of West Indies. A couple of instances about Hardik Pandya's captaincy, which have been glaring mistakes, which we can talk about. Once was, giving that over to Akshar Patel in first game when Nicholas Pooran had come down to come for batting on sixth over, and today this one. So there's something which we probably can think about whether Hardik Pandya, the captain, he's been brilliant with GT, but with Gujarat Titans, he has that support of Ashish Nehra with him. But is Rahul Dravid that proactive coach or a proactive person which we are looking for in T20 format? In my book, I don't think so. We need someone who's proactive. Hardik Pandya has that spark, but he needs that support. And to me, I think Rahul Dravid doesn't provide that to him. So every time India loses, we always look at the negative points or what are the lessons India can learn from the game. To me, I think throughout the series we've been talking about, throughout the white ball series we've been talking about, we needed our batters to play a longer inning, and that's something which India has been missing out on. So that's something India can think of. Sanju Samson, I think every time he's not in the squad we talk about Sanju Samson, but he's had couple of opportunities and probably he has not cashed into it. But that's time probably is running out. Maybe yes, maybe no, but I think that's something he needs those runs because consistency has always been a question mark of Sanju Samson, whether it's IPL or whether playing for India. And you always want to talk about the decision making, making those right decisions, especially when you're playing T20 format. That's something India can think of, whether it was Akshar Patel's bowling in first T20 or today Yuzvendra Chahal not bowling that over 18th over. I think that made a difference. West Indies is definitely 2-0 up in this series, but there are a lot of lessons to be learned for them. I thought, to me, the surprising factor is the ability of not rotating the strike. We saw how Shriman Hetmar got stuck. We have been seeing how Nicholas Pooran can hit those big runs or big sixes, which we've been talking about, but they fail to rotate the strike. That's something which they can think of. We've spoken about their consistency, which they've shown here, but today also they had game in their hand, but it came down to a stage where India could make a comeback. So whenever there's a game in your hand, you want to just crush it down here, and you don't want to give a chance to a side like India. So that's something West Indies can think of. Whenever you have an upper hand, you want to make sure that you finish the game right there and then. It's a series decider for India. India's 2-0 down. Before the series started, if someone would have told me that, India would be 2-0 down, I think I would have said, no, there's no chance. But it is what it is. That's where we are. And India cannot afford any more slip ups. I think, we've been talking about this. Indian batters need to finish the thing. I think I would be repeating myself if I say that, we need someone to get a bigger score. And that's something which India needs to do it. And then will have to do it in this game because one more mistake and you might just see West Indies winning the series against India, a team which has not qualified for a World Cup spot. So that's something there's a lot to play for India. And I think Indian youngsters, they will learn from this. To me, we are still in a rebuilding phase where we are trying to look at other players. We are trying to make a team out of probably for the World Cup. So result might go your way or will not come your way. But I think lessons needs to be learned, and this is the game. This is the most pressure game, maybe against West Indies. But once you win those games and under pressure, that they'll give you a lot of confidence. For West Indies, I feel this is a huge moment. West Indies have won series before, but at this point of time, they're probably at their lowest in the cricket which West Indies has played. I think they probably a series win can give them a great moral booster. That's something which we've been talking about. Before this T20 series started, I'd spoken about they love playing this T20 cricket. They have superstars. They play all around the world in different leagues. But this series win will give them a huge boost. So for them, it is everything to play for. It's a series decider for India and West Indies. It's a great moment for West Indies. But for me, I have no doubt that India will make a comeback into this series. But there's no doubt about me. I will always be there right here on Cricbuzz to review this third T20I.